Welcome to Picks on the Bluff's NCAA coverage of Week 9. I'm your host, Chris Mark Reed, as always. And it's finally football weather down here in South Georgia. The middle of October, well, the end of October. It took it long enough, but it's finally down in the 40s. You see, I got all my long sleeves on because I'm recording outside where I usually record in my shed. But last week, I shouldn't really be wearing my Clemson stuff because last week was embarrassing. We let a Seminole team who hasn't won in Death Valley since 2001 come in and trash us 50-something to 14. That was embarrassing, but we're still in the top 10 in the BCS poll, so that's good. We gotta hope that Florida State loses one of its ACC games, well, at least two, and that's not looking that well. So we're not getting the ACC championship game this year, probably. There's still a hope, but we'll get to that later. Anything else happened last week? That is, oh yeah, Texas A. I called the upset of Texas A&M, and what's funny about that is if you watch NASCAR, which now I'm getting a Toshiba on my on my computer. But if you watch NASCAR at Talladega last weekend, the car that was supporting the Auburn colors, it had a big Auburn symbol on its front hood. It won the race. So Auburn, if you had anything to do with Auburn last week, you were good. Anything else? South Carolina got upset. Georgia got upset. And that's about it. Oh yeah, Louisville got upset. So last week was another one of them. You don't know who really going to pick. So this week we're going by BCS standings. So here we go with our first pick of the week. We have Tennessee at number 1, Alabama. Now Tennessee's up there. Every time they play somebody big, they get up and they get ready to play. You saw when they played Georgia, they almost won that. They almost beat Florida when both of those teams were ranked when they played. Now they're playing Alabama. I don't think they'll get it done with Alabama. I think Alabama's just too strong of a team. And that's just being said for the past 4 years, Alabama. Well, past 4, past 3, whichever. I don't know. But Alabama is just too strong of a team for Tennessee. Alright, here we go. Number 2 is changed. NC State at number 2, Florida State, which I think is a good change. Florida State played two ranked teams Florida State has played. They demolished them, and it was 50-something to 14 on Clemson, 63 to 7 on Maryland when they were ranked. Maryland's only ranked 15. The better demolishing was against Clemson last week. If you remember last year when these two teams played, it was at NC State, and NC State upset Florida State. I don't think that's happening this year. Florida State's new quarterback, the redshirt freshman, I can't remember his name. I don't really want to remember his name after last week, but he's throwing good. Yeah, he's throwing good. He can get the ball to his receivers. Let's just say that. So Florida State wins this one. Here's the game of the week. This is where College Game Day will be. Number 12 UCLA is going against number 3 Oregon now. UCLA. I would pick UCLA if Clemson had won last week. But seeing as they didn't, and they're still in the top 10, but they're at the bottom of the top 10, I'm going to go with Oregon. Seeing it's probably the surefire pick. Lee Corso's going to get another free pick because when he always picks the Ducks, and they somehow always win. But I don't think if Florida State wins out and Alabama wins out, they're not getting to the national championship game. Penn State at Ohio State, who is number 4 still. Gonna go out with Ohio State. They had a little trouble with Iowa last week, but I got the second half, which I didn't get to see. Haunted house still. They took over, and Ohio State won that game, and I think they'll win this game. Top 25 matchup between SEC teams again. We got number 21 South Carolina at number 5 Missouri. Number 5 Missouri showed that they were for real when they beat up Georgia last week. No, it wasn't Georgia. It was Florida. Yeah, Georgia lost to Vanderbilt. Missouri beat up Florida, which sent Georgia and Florida out of the top 25. Missouri's going to beat South Carolina, who South Carolina got upset last week to, I don't know who it was, and Connor Upshaw got injured, and the game just went against South Carolina from the beginning, and they just lost that game. I think Missouri is going to win this game. Let's get off this one. Another top 25 matchup. It's not SEC, but it's top 25. Number 6, Stanford at number 25, Oregon State. Stanford upset UCLA like I called. I had both of my upsets I called right. I'm going to have to go with Stanford on this one. Oregon State's just now getting into the top 25. And this is BCS, so not a BS if you take the C out. So, but I'm going to take Stanford on this one. Here's the ACC matchup. Wake Forest at number 7, Miami of Florida. I don't know if Miami and Florida State play, but this is about the only hope that Florida State is going to lose an ACC game this year. I'm going to have to go with Miami on this one against Wake Forest, though. They had trouble with North Carolina last week for some odd reason, but I think Miami will beat Wake Forest. Here's our other Oregon team of the right now. We got Baylor, number 8, against Kansas. I'm going to say Baylor scores another 70 points before this game is over. Now we finally found my team. We got number 9 Clemson going into Maryland. Now we know both these teams have been ranked. Clemson is still ranked. They just fell 6 places. I think Clemson can handle Maryland, but we got to put the question mark against it because Maryland's been playing good ball. It's going to be a tight one if Clemson doesn't play like they did last week. It's always a question mark with Clemson sometimes, but I think they'll get it done against Maryland. Of course, I'm always going to pick them because it's my team, man. It's my team, and I got to pick them. Another top 25 matchup. We got number 10 Texas Tech at number 15 Oklahoma. That's going to be my upset of the weekend. We got Oklahoma winning this one. Sure, the last 2 games have been challenges for them. They lost to Texas, and last week Kansas gave them a tough time, but they pulled it out in the 4th quarter. I think Oklahoma gets their stuff together, and they pull a upset on Texas Tech. Texas Tech had trouble against Texas State a couple weeks ago, and that's going to be the deciding factor of this game. So Oklahoma gets a win over Texas Tech for the upset of the weekend. Florida Atlantic at number 11 Auburn, who pulled the upset against Texas A&M last weekend, which in my mind was so great because they hurt Johnny Manziel. And something strange. He's hurt, yes. And they still say he is leading the Heisman race. ESPN can be so dumb sometimes. It's just, something I don't know. I'm talking about Johnny Football. Someone's trying to kill me. But, so this is the Auburn game against Florida Atlantic. Should be an easy game for Auburn. If they could beat Texas A&M, they should have no trouble at all with Florida Atlantic. And another easy game, we got Furman at number 13, LSU. Yeah, LSU is going to win big time. Even though they're number 13, it's no trouble with Furman. All right, we got next up an ACC matchup with Duke at number 14, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech. Didn't Virginia Tech play last weekend? I'm not sure, but I think they'll beat Duke. Duke never is really good in the ACC, especially when it comes to ACC matchups and ACC opponents who are ranked. So I'm gonna give Virginia Tech the nod on this one. Speaking of Texas A&M, we got Vanderbilt at number 16, Texas A&M. Uh, Texas A&M did fall a good ways down in the BCS, so that's A-okay with me. And Vanderbilt got the upset on Georgia last week. I don't think they pull the upset this week, though. I think Texas A&M will get their psyche together, if you want to say that. But they'll get the win. Texas A&M. I think they said Johnny Football's playing. Although I wish he wasn't, and they had to put the backup in because I'm tired of this. I said that last week too, and I got the win. But Texas A&M will get the job done on against Vanderbilt. We got number 17 Fresno State at San Diego State. San Diego State hadn't played well. I'm gonna go with the Fresno State because I hadn't seen Fresno State play at all. Here's another easy game to pick. East Michigan at 18 North Illinois, who went up in the standings somehow, and they still haven't played anybody. But I don't think East Michigan has even won a game yet, if I remember correctly when I was picking. So North Illinois is the winner. Let's see. Number 19 Oklahoma State goes to play Iowa State. Iowa State only a one-win team. You got to pick Oklahoma State. Now, I've had some complaints in the past that sometimes I don't give many reasons why a team will win or not. Well, that's because I'm out here. I don't have the DirecTV and the ESPN game plan where I get every game. I have places where I can watch every game, but I don't because I'm not interested in most of the teams. So that's why in the quick picks, we only pick ACC, SEC teams because we're here in South Georgia, and that's where they play. So I did the Oklahoma State game. They're beating Iowa State. Louisville, who dropped all the way from 8 to number 20, is playing South Florida. Will they have trouble with another Florida team? That is the question. I think no. I think they'll get it all together, and Louisville will beat South Florida. And speaking of Florida teams, we got Connecticut at number 23, Central Florida. Central Florida's going to win this one. I mean, it's Connecticut. Who loses to Connecticut? So University of Central Florida gets this one. And finally, we got number 24 Nebraska at Minnesota. Both these teams are either 5-1 and 5-2. They're in the same. They're Pac-12, I think it is. No, it's not Pac-12. That's where Oregon is. Big Ten. That's it. I'm going with another upset here. I got Minnesota winning against Nebraska. I mean, I haven't seen. I know Minnesota played well against Michigan, but that's when Michigan was ranked. But I like Minnesota in this one. I'll take Minnesota over Nebraska. And let's get to our quick picks. We only have 6 of them. Oh no, 5. Yeah, 5. We got Georgia Tech at Virginia first. Georgia Tech put up either 50 or 60 against Syracuse. I think they'll do that again against Virginia. Not that many points, but I still think the option is going to work well. Pittsburgh at Navy. Pittsburgh's going to get this one done. It's a very, very easy game to pick. Boston College at North Carolina. Going to go with the BC here. North Carolina still only has that one win. And our Thursday night game, which is tonight, since I didn't get my show filmed on Wednesday, Kentucky at Mississippi State. I'm going to go with the Mississippi State here. They're just a good team. And finally, Idaho at Ole Miss. Going to go with Ole Miss because Idaho is only a one-win team. So that's it. I didn't go over the rankings yet. I will put them somewhere over here. But or go to our Facebook page where a link will be in the description and like it so you can see the rankings when I get them on Tuesday. First up, Matt Miller, 186. Second, John Todd, 185. Third, Sam Sprout, 184. So the first 3 places are within 2 points of each other. Fourth, Annette Todd with 182. I'm still 5th, 180. So everybody in the top 5 is very, very close to each other. And last place, Bobby Sprout, is 173. She has a lot of catching up to do. So that's it for Picks on the Bluffs Week 9 coverage of the NCAA. Stay tuned for NFL. Yeah, that's it. Stay tuned for NFL. I will see you there.